As you know, my name is Kyneton the Tech Pro, and today I'm going to be showing you how to perform filtering on this data. So this is a demo application I built. I actually made a tutorial on this application. You can look at the description box. You find a link to the tutorial on building a complete application, which I have now, and you can follow along in this tutorial. But for now, I'm going to show you how to filter this data on this table. So you can see it filters. Immediately you are typing anything in the text box, it starts filtering immediately. So that's what we are going to be talking about. But did you notice that once we start typing anything, all the navigation, all the thumbnails are gone, and also all the controls here are gone. We are going to be fixing that problem later. I want to keep it very simple, so let's take it bit by bit because I really want it to be easy for you to follow. I'm Kyneton the Tech Pro, and if you have any challenges whatsoever following my lesson, please leave me a comment below this video in a comment box. Tell me your challenge and I'm going to help you. So let's go ahead to get started right now. So let me put this away. And let's first follow the steps. Now let me go to the application that actually is not complete, because the application I showed you now is a complete application. So the application that is not complete is this one. So the first step we are going to take, we are going to copy the employee page and create a copy of it called employee filters. So I'm going to kind of paste this and call it employee filter. Okay, so but then to access this employee filtered page, employee filtered, we need to add the endpoint in the controller, because you can't just browse a HTML page. You need to access it by adding an endpoint that will serve this page or that will return this page in the controller. So I'm going to go to the employee controller and simply add it. So this is the code that returns the employee page. So let's just add another code to return the employee filtered page. So I'm going to paste this code right now. And I'm going to say get employees filtered. All right, so get employee filtered is going to, let's call this employees filtered. So one goes to http localhost 8080/employees filtered is going to get across to this page. And let's remove this conditional statement. This conditional statement is here because I already made a lesson on how to perform filtering using a different method, which is based on JPA custom query, but now we don't need this. So this part of this demo, modifying this controller file, is actually out of scope. So you can actually skip a bit ahead. We are going to be working mainly on the HTML page. So let me just explain to you how it works while we wait for this. Okay, it's complete now. So I'm going to just take out this, and all right, so we are going to be returning employee filtered, right? Employee filtered. Let's make sure the name is correct. Go to the templates folder and employee filtered. I'm going to save everything, and I'm going to open the employee filtered page, and I'm going to call it employee management page filtered. All right, so let's just make sure everything is okay. I'm going to run it, and as it's coming up, I'm going to explain to you what is happening. So the first step one is what we did just now. We've created a new page and created the endpoint URL method in the controller file. Now we are going to add the text box on the table. So if Tomcats have started, so let's check. Let's just visit the employees filtered. So for 8080 employee filtered, if I'm not mistaken, this should be employees filtered. So let's just check. Employees filtered. So employees filtered. So we need an X here. So we need an S here. Okay, so this is the page, employee management page filtered, right? And so now nothing happens. So you see employee management page filtered. So for now, this is not what this is a different thing. So let's just go back to this place. Let's take out this and let's go to the table. So the table is somewhere here, and what we did, we created a text box above the table and name it txt search. So in this case, I'm going to take out this form tag because this is for the first method I explained in the tutorial before this one. In this case now, we don't need a submit button, right? We need only an input field, and it's going to be a text box, and that's all. We can call it any name, is okay. Well, whatever name we call it, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to save it, and I'm actually going to rerun this page. Let's just make sure everything is fine. So we have created a text field and we name it txt search, and we are going to now write the JavaScript code. Let's go back to the page just to check everything is fine. So I'm going to refresh this page, and now we have only a text box right here. So this is for add new. This is not what we are talking about. So right now, if I type in anything in this text box, nothing happens. It doesn't filter. So it's okay. That's what we are going to be working on. So we are going to be going to the end of this page, and just before the end, the closing tag for the body, we are going to be adding script. Okay, we are going to be adding script. All right, and since we are going to be working with Thymeleaf, because this data is coming from, will have to be managed by Thymeleaf. The list of employees coming from the controller to this page is going to be handled by or interpreted by Thymeleaf. So I'm going to be saying th inline equal to JavaScript all lowercase. All right. So this is what you are going to do if you want to access Thymeleaf objects or Thymeleaf variables in your script. You have to say th inline equal to JavaScript. And I think it's going to be double quotes, not single quotes. All right, so basically what we are going to be doing now, I'm explaining to you now, we've created this, and now we're going to write a code to get a list of employees. Now, to work with Thymeleaf and JavaScript, somehow the code is kind of verbose. And you simply have to sometimes copy and paste it. So the list of employees coming from the controller, you access it using this kind of cryptic code here. So backslash asterisk two open two open square brackets $, curly brackets. Then you specify the name of the list of items coming from your controller, and this is Thymeleaf expression that really I don't know exactly, but it's a way to get a list of items from Thymeleaf using JavaScript. Okay, so here we have a list of employees now. So what I can do now is to now write a query that is going to filter this list of employees when you type something on the text box. That is when the text box detects a key up event. We are going to run a function to filter this item. So let's just start writing. So I'm going to use a selector, a jQuery selector, because we are using jQuery selector. We are going to be selecting the text box. So I'm going to say the name of the text box is what? Is txt search, and the event we are going to be responding to is on key up event. Key up event simply means when you press a key, whatever key on the keyboard, while the focus is on the text box, and we are going to do a callback, a function. So I'm going to be doing this inline function. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this inline function. So what are we going to be doing here? The first thing we want to do is to get whatever is entered in the text box. So I'm going to say var value equals, I'm going to now select the item that is entered. So I'm going to be using a selector this. Alright, this is the text box which has the focus, the val, and this gives me the item entered into the text box. Okay. Alright, so what we can do at this point is just to check if this selector is working. So I'm going to be echoing it out to the console, the value that is entered on the keyboard. So I'm going to say value equals to, and I'm going to be saying, maybe I'll say plus value. Okay, so let's echo this to the output and see what we have. So I'm going to run this application. So what I want to do now is when the key is pressed, it's going to echo the value on that key on the text box out to the console output. Let's just save. So so I think Tomcat starts .8080. So let's go to check. Let's go to a browser. I'm going to refresh the page and I'm going to open the console window using F12. F12, open up the console window, and at this point let me type K. So it says on caught exception, console is not a function. Okay, so let's go to solve this problem. Console.log. So that is my mistake. So let me rerun it. So once we succeed in this, we now use whatever that is typed, because now we have the value typed into the text box. We use it now to filter this list of employees. After we filter and get a filtered list, we now use this filtered list to recreate the table. I think it makes sense. So I'm going to be doing refreshing this page, and let's type K. I can see value K, KK is value KK, and KGA whatever. LU. Okay, so it's working so far. We can get the item typed into the text box. So what do we do with it? The first thing we want to do is to filter get filtered employee list. Right, so we are going to be using this value here. Let me just take out this because we already know. We are going to be using this value to filter this list. So how I want to do it, I could actually write a function that returns the filtered list. So I can say something like var data, let me call it var data is equal to employees. Okay, let me just say filter function. I'm giving it the value and I'm giving it the employees list. Now we've now written this filter function that's going to do this filtering. So let me just comment this out. This is the first step. We are going to be writing a function, filter function. Filter function is going to return a filtered data, taking the employee list and taking the key or the keyword you want to use to filter. And then the next step is going to be rebuild. Okay, the first thing, clear the table and rebuild using new filtered data, right? So that makes sense, right? Okay, how about writing a function again? I can call this function rebuild table, and I'm giving it the filtered data, right? So this filtered data here is going to be this one. Okay, so as it is now, since I'm not going to be wasting so much time, I have written this function, and this is exactly how it works. I'm going to be pasting it, and I'm going to explain it to you. So the first one is what's it called? The filter function. This filter function. I'm going to just copy it and paste. The second filter function. Yeah, so let me copy it and paste right there. Let's copy and paste. Alright, so what is happening here in the filter function, because this is the filter function now, is first is going to create an empty array because it's not going to filter in place. So it's going to iterate through the data. Is going to convert everything to the lowercase. It takes the first record in this data and it converts both of them to lowercase. So this is basically something I could have written in one line. So take the value. This is the value that is entered in the text box, convert it to lowercase. Take the first name, convert it to lowercase, is the first record, because we are searching only the first name and the last name fields, convert them to lowercase, and we check if the first name includes this value. So if the first name contains this value, or if the last name contains that value, we simply push that record into the filtered data array, which is this one. So this filtered data array will contain the filtered table, and at this point we can use it to rebuild our table. So the next function is the function to simply rebuild the table. So this function is simply going to the rebuild table function is going to take, let me just copy and paste so that I can explain it, because I don't have all the time. So it's going to first clear the table, then it's going to iterate through the records that is filtered and be creating rows one by one with each of these records that is filtered. So it's going to be iterating through the record. So once you give it a filtered record, this data now you are giving to rebuild table is a filtered record. It's going to say, it's going to first select the table. It's going to select the table. The table name is employee table. On the HTML page, maybe you can just check. You can just go up a little to check the name of the table. So let's see. So this is the table. So I have this table. I have to add. Let's see. Let's go down and check. Get element by ID. So the ID of this element is actually should be employee table. So let's not make them. Let's not forget to change it. So I'm going to say ID. ID is equal to employee table. So I'm going to select this table, and I'm going to then select the row of this table. Okay. So this line is saying table is equal to get element by ID the table. Then the get inner HTML. The inner HTML of a table slash table is tr slash tr. So once we get for each of the table row, we simply create a new table row using the filtered data and add it to the new HTML, add it to the table. So we are adding a new row, because remember at this point we take out all the rows, and this time for each of the filtered records we create a new row, tr slash tr at the end. We add all the fields, and then we add it to the table. Table.inner HTML is equal to this row. One thing you need to take note of is this symbol here that you use to create a multi-line string in JavaScript. I really don't know the name of the symbol. Is it correct? I don't know. If you know the name of the symbol, please let me know in the comment box below. So use this symbol to create a multi-line string in JavaScript. So basically we are done. Exactly what I told you, and we are rebuilding the table at this point. So at this point we can now go and then uncomment all this, okay. So we are going to test this now to see how it goes. So I'm going to run this application and let's see what we have. So hopefully it works. I really don't want it to give us any bug. So let's see. So Tomcat started at port 8080. So let's go to the table. At this point I'm going to refresh. I'm going to close the console window and let's type and see. KIN. Yeah, so it works. So LUMIK and so on. So it actually works. Yeah, so basically it's working. So that is exactly the procedure. And now the next question is, how do we restore all the beautiful icons we have, the beautiful images here? This is a very funny smile. I always say this every time. So, and how do we restore our controls here to edit, to view the details, and to delete? after filtering, because when we filter, everything is gone. So I would like to say let's do that in the next part, because this is taking too long now. But I would like to thank you for viewing. Please subscribe if you've not subscribed. If you have any challenges whatsoever, please let me know in the comment box. This is what I do. I want everyone to learn. I will promise to share my knowledge with everyone. So let me know, and if this has been informative for you, please like it and share it around as well. And we'll see you in the next part.